Join our global community of travel lovers at zerototravel.com. Zero to Travel Audio Adventures presents Trekking Nepal, Episode 2, Kathmandu. We discuss getting a guide, booking the trek, what equipment you need, and what you can buy in town. So we are making business now.
Oh yeah.
We're making a deal. Samir is now officially our Manaslu trekking guide.
Yes.
Manaslu. And you have
Now
been
I'm
answering our questions all day.
Oh yeah. I love to answer like 1,000 questions.
Well, we have to get Anne Dorthe comfortable.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's true.
Yes. I think she is now.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to get her comfortable to marry me. In terms of the information around this tragedy, when something like this happens, you probably notice you can read about it in the papers. It tells the story. It talks about the tragedy, those that were killed. But it's really difficult to get follow-up information like what are the mountain conditions like now? Because people aren't looking for that information. You know, they're just looking to read about the tragedy. They're not reporting a week later on the current conditions and letting you know if it's stable to hike over there. That type of information is going to be available to trekkers when you arrive and you start talking to people. So you're right. I mean, just getting with locals, talking to reputable agencies and people and understanding what the conditions are at that moment, because you really can't think about it too much. You can't control what the conditions are going to be when you arrive in the mountains. You can't control anything when it comes to nature. You just have to show up and find out what the conditions are and try to make a decision based off of that.
Yeah. And you have to remember, like, the conditions in the mountains can change in like a second.
Yeah.
It can be beautiful and like blue skies, and then it can be deadly. And also, like, mention that what with the information we heard when we got to Nepal was that those that died was the tourist. That was the rumors we heard, and the information we got, that was those didn't have guides. They had went up there by themselves or with just porters and didn't have the information about the conditions. But those we talked to that had been through agency, they were held back, so they wouldn't get into the blizzard that was predicted to come. So that's like something to think about that.
I think it was one of the reasons why, we needed a guide for the trek we chose, because that was legally, we needed to have one.
You can't go there by yourself.
But it was one of the things that we were debating on different treks and if we should get a guide or not. We were already leaning towards getting a guide because we wanted to learn more about the Nepalese culture and its people, and we thought that was the best way to do it. But on the safety side, this is what solidified it, because we knew, having somebody that was familiar with the mountain terrain there would probably give us a better chance to prevent anything if something happened when we were up in the high Himalayas.
Yeah, and we also knew that our guide, he would get updates and had communication with Kathmandu, the travel agency.
They had radio
office
communication.
there, and they knew the updates on the weather and everything. So that was a safety thing for us. Jason is laughing because I'm on the
her nickname. Her nickname is Safety McSaferson.
Whatever.
McSaferson.
I love my life. What can I say? Then you rather spend some more money on knowing that you have somebody to look after you. I think also the responsibility you have as a traveler for the porters and the guides is also important, especially the porters, like we heard, and that's been in the news too, like a lot of the porters that were found after this avalanche, they were wearing sandals, they barely had clothes on, they packed themselves into plastic to cover themselves from the blizzard, and it's
not right.
It's not right at all. It's ethical, totally wrong, and
it's unethical.
Yeah, it's so bad and so sad, and these are people that are so poor, and they do everything for you for little money too, and that was shocking for me to know that tourists have brought these people up in mountain areas with sandals on their feet. I absolutely mean that as a traveler in that way, you have a responsibility to take care of the people you're hiring for a service. Because of the recent bad weather and the tragedy, the Everest and Annapurna Track routes were actually closed. So that really decided the Manaslu circuit for us. So with the trip booked, it was time for some shopping.
My name is Mingma Sherpa. I'm
And
from Everest region.
Is everybody from the Everest region Sherpa?
Yes, because other area no Sherpa people.
Yeah.
Only Everest region.
You have to be from the
there.
Everest
yes,
region.
only from there.
Yeah.
And other area no Sherpa people.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's only this region.
So if you're from that area, then you always add Sherpa to your name?
Yes.
Okay.
Sherpa is family name. So now in our friend, Appa Sherpa in America.
Appa Sherpa.
Yes.
That's
he climbed Everest 22 times.
22 times?
Yes.
Is this a friend of yours?
Yes, my friend Appa Sherpa.
Appa Sherpa was actually the first man in history to reach the top of the world 21 times. He shares the world record of the most summits of Everest.
Because he climbed
Yeah.
8,848 meters.
Yeah.
Everest summit 22 times.
And you've climbed Everest
One time only.
one time.
Yes.
I mean, is that enough?
Oh, very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
No summit.
No?
No summit.
No
because,
summit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that time very bad weather, and my group was from Czech Republic.
Yeah.
You know, so nobody climbed.
Yeah.
Very windy and very
Too much bad weather.
very bad weather, and everybody is scared. Come down.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's scary.
No summit.
So is this? We're in a trekking shop.
Yes.
You would call this? What's
Yeah.
the name? Is this your shop?
This is my shop.
What's
yes.
it called?
The Everest Equipment.
Everest Equipment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And because we just bought a bunch of stuff here.
Yeah, sure.
For
thank
the
you.
trek because
yeah.
we're getting ready for the Manaslu,
Yeah, Manaslu trek.
which you're telling us is very beautiful.
Yeah, very beautiful and very cold.
And very
Okay?
cold, which
Yes.
is why Anna Dorthe is getting
sure.
all this warm stuff.
Yes.
I just asked if she liked
Yeah,
the shopping
sure.
more than
Yeah.
trekking. I don't
Nice,
know yet.
yeah.
But we got gloves.
Yeah, sure.
And,
Vortex fan
Yeah,
and sleeping liners here.
yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And how long have you had this shop?
Now 10 years old.
Okay. Tell us, I guess, you were getting a little bit tired of guiding, or you just wanted to not be in the mountains as much?
Yeah, me now going old, so probably
But
enough.
you're 46.
Yes, 46 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Maybe because my hard life I spend in mountain area. Really.
Yeah.
I work with the mountain travels.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ah.
we did many hard job.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is the hardest part about being a guide? Because you were a guide for many years.
Yes, only hard from only the porter.
Hard on the porter.
Yes, because
Yeah.
no porter, nothing for us. You know.
Yeah.
We need a very necessary
Oh,
porter.
we just lost the lights.
Yeah, I have that.
This is the time where they cut the lights off.
Yes, yes.
Every day they cut
Every day.
the electricity for 7 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours.
3
Yes,
hours.
Only 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, because now festival in
Okay.
Nepal, Tihar.
Okay.
Because the porter have a problem, so some porter they don't like to go up.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a good clothes,
Yeah.
no good shoes, you know, no sunglasses, so they have a problem.
Yeah.
But when I was a mountain guide, we provide for porter.
Yes.
So we
That's
have we
important.
keep because
Yeah.
very important porter.
Yeah.
Without porter, difficult
Yeah.
like this. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So you have to take good porter too.
yes.
Okay.
We make sure that
Yeah.
they're taken care of because
Good. Which company you joined?
Trek Nepal.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Yeah.
good.
So they seem to be
Oh, good.
Good. I don't
Yes,
know.
Yeah, good. Now easy track for you. Okay.
yeah.
Really, it's cheap for you now.
Yeah.
Before you have to pay everything and all the stuff you have to carry from Kathmandu to all trek.
Yeah.
You know, food, tent.
Oh, before.
Yes,
Yeah.
before for camping.
Yeah.
Okay, and tent and cooking food. You know, everything.
Yeah.
All the stuff we need. Also for the toilet and shower room.
Do you see a lot more people coming here
Yeah.
now as compared to 10 years ago? What was
Compared
the
10 years, very less people now.
yeah? Is it a big difference?
Yes, because we have problem between 10 years. Problem with the Maoist and government fighting. So many European people was scared.
And what's this?
Oh, this is festival.
this is for the festival.
Yes.
Okay.
Bihar. This is Nyawari people.
Nyawari people.
Yeah, especially from this Kathmandu Valley, only Nyawari people before.
And they're carrying lights, candles.
Yes, candle, yes.
And that's because it's a light festival?
Yes, now we're starting from today.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one second festival. So after this, no more festival.
No. This will be dancing in the streets?
Yes, for
singing?
Yeah, singing and for lighting.
And for lighting.
Yeah, whole night until tomorrow.
It's a special time.
Yes, it's special.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like very much.
Yeah.
We enjoy to drink here at night time
Yeah.
in the family.
Spend time with your family too?
Yeah. Because my kids, they like to play with me always.
Yeah.
Papa. But now you go to Manasolu, also very nice.
Yeah.
You seem very close in Tibet too.
Yeah.
Yeah, ready.
That should be great.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste
Welcome.
to you,
Have a nice
yes.
trekking and good picture from all the mountain. Yeah, Manasolu.
Thank you.
But be careful, huh?
We will.
No rush.
No, we
No
take our
rush.
time.
Slowly, yes, ready. Come down, no problem.
Well, we're back at our hotel room, and today was a good day. We finally booked a trek for the Manaslu, and I have to say we are still nervous and a little bit anxious, I guess would be the word. Going up to 17,000 feet, we don't know how our bodies will react. We're learning as we go, and one of the things we learned today is just be sure to question all of the costs involved with your trek. If you're trekking independently or with a group, say you show up to Nepal and you start talking to outfitters. There are so many different outfitters, and you walk around everywhere. People on the streets are coming up to you and asking you, hey, what are you doing? What are you up to? If you give them a little space, and this is pretty typical of big cities, people trying to sell you things, but they will chat you up and try to recommend people they know that can guide you, or just say that they're able to find you help to get into the mountains and find you a guide. And what we've found as a general rule, be wary of the people that seek you out and try to seek other people out. Rather than trusting the person that comes up to you, we've found that the people that we've approached are more trustworthy. I'd have to say this is one of those situations where, as much as I like traveling without a guidebook and kind of going off, it's good to check the guidebooks to see who's recommended, to see which agencies have been around for a while. But don't make that the golden rule. Go in and talk to the agencies yourself. And we got a really honest talk and conversation with somebody that runs Highlander Trekking Company. He was just so cool because he said he didn't have guides for us for the trek that we wanted to do, but he gave us a lot of advice on how to be careful and why to ask a lot of questions. And he basically said, if you do some research on your trek and know generally what the route's going to be and what's in store, and you can ask very specific questions when you meet guides that you're considering, get those questions down, and then if they can't answer them, you're going to know they're full of crap, basically. So you want to ask really specific questions and ask them how many times they've done the trek, ask them, where you stay along the way, and try to find a couple points in there during your research that just says, hey, this specific thing is going to happen, or you should, for example, on our trek, it's recommended that we stay in one location, I can't think of the name of it right now, before we go over the pass, instead of doing like a big long day. So we asked about that, and he did recommend that we stay there, and he has done this trek 7 times and just did it a month ago. So these are important things to know, especially when you're walking on the streets and you're almost getting run over by cars, and you want to plan your trek, and maybe you're out enjoying the city. And Kathmandu has been take us a day or so to settle in, but it's been cool, and we haven't gotten to see too much of it because we've been working towards planning this trek. But we would also say just plan the trek as soon as possible, because the rest of what you do might revolve around that, and that's what we're finding. So now that we have it planned, we can start kind of working through some of the other things we need, getting some of our supplies, and so on and so forth. So Don't be intimidated by the amount of agencies. Just find a couple reputable ones and talk to them first, and then go in and have the honest conversation and get a breakdown of costs, get a full breakdown, and make sure you negotiate a little bit, because we got a little bit of money off, not a lot, and I think we could have got more, and I was a little bit disappointed in my negotiating performance. So get the breakdown of costs and then get it again and question a couple things. And I don't think they were being dishonest, but you want to just make sure you know where all the costs are coming from. There's costs for permits, there's costs for the guides and the porters, and then obviously your food and accommodations can either be paid for separately, or you can get like a sort of a package where they'll include that too. But I don't know if I recommend that, because you can kind of get that on your own along the way. Okay, AD and I are here at the Funky Buddha in Kathmandu, right across the street from our hotel, which is the Shirt Tibet. It's okay.
Hotel.
It's okay.
It's okay.
And
except those pigeons.
The pigeons are making noises every morning, and it's them sleeping, I guess. It's like
so annoying.
It's a real low rumble, and they do it together.
It's
and
more than that. It's
like it's pigeon snoring is not is something I've been dreaming about all morning. And the last 2 days we've been organizing the trek, and today we want to talk about finishing up our organization and getting ready to leave, because we're at the point now where we are all packed up and ready to go. We've worked out all the logistics and everything's ready. And when we got here, there were some key elements we were missing, and what we've discovered is that in Kathmandu there is no shortage of trekking shops.
That's true.
One of the annoying parts is you have to, I guess, negotiate everything, which sometimes you feel a little bad when you're negotiating over a $3.50 pair of socks, but it's expected that they're going to come down. So we do recommend, if you're buying multiple pieces of equipment in one shop, if you find a good shop and you can get 2 or 3 things, or maybe 4 or 5 things, you will have more leverage. Let's just run down the list of some of the things that you should buy here, because it's way more affordable than it is to buy it in Norway for Anne Dorthe or for myself in the United States. Now,
the only thing you have to think about is the quality of it.
Yeah.
Because some of it is not as good as
That's
you
true.
would get it at home.
And
so I think I'm glad I brought my down jacket, for example, that
Okay.
it's like a real, like I know they have a lot of down jackets here too, but I feel more secure with my own that I brought from Norway.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the down jackets could be suspect.
Yeah, I think so. But like, for example, like the trekking poles, I think you should not bring from home. I think they're okay here. The same with like socks is probably okay to buy here. And like fleece hats and stuff. I think
Basic
the
technical
yeah,
gear.
the basic things you can buy here, but the key stuff you should probably bring from home. And then I mean the hiking boots
Yeah.
and the down jackets and the
Probably the
long,
shell.
the long johns and
Yeah.
the shell and the wind and waterproof stuff is probably something you should bring from home.
Yeah.
But the other stuff you can totally buy here.
Yeah, I would agree with all that wholeheartedly. And let's take the trekking poles as an example. Those are generally priced between $80 and $150 for trekking poles, I think. Here,
And I bought today like the expensive ones.
as she uses air quotes.
Yeah, for like $17.
Yeah, and I bought a pair for $6 a pair. So let's see how they hold up on the trail. I honestly think that we've packed really well. There are some luxury items, I suppose, in books and stuff like that, but since we have hired a porter to carry our stuff, but even then, we have not gone overboard. We're very minimal with our packing. So trekking poles are a great example. Another example is the water bottles.
Yeah.
A water bottle at home is like, those steel water bottles are like $20,
Yeah.
which is always insane to me. And you can get them here for about $3, $3 to $4,
And at least
depending on.
the plastic, the hard plastic that you can compare with the Camelback and the Nalgene, is that the brand? Seems pretty decent,
Yeah.
I would say.
Absolutely. And we bought some gloves here, we should say. We'll see how those hold up. They feel nice. They feel warm. They say they're Gore-Tex. We don't believe it.
I don't think so.
We think they're going to get us through hikes. It's going to be fine. You know, you think about people do this stuff with much less technical gear. So either way, I think you would be fine. Even if you showed up and you needed to buy everything because you were coming from another country, there is plenty, and you wouldn't have to spend a lot of money to do it. You could probably get everything for under $200. I'm talking about everything. Like, it's probably quite possible. I'm talking about
included like the backpack.
your backpack, your hiking boots. I wouldn't want to buy hiking boots here because the hiking boots are important to have broken in and ready to go for a long hike.
A decent backpack is also something you should bring from home, but a day pack is probably okay. But I did that in Peru actually. I had to buy a small day pack, and it was not very good.
My feeling on these,
it was okay for the trip.
Yeah.
But it's nothing I actually use home. So, but
Yeah.
of course, if you will spend between $15 and $20.
Maybe a little more, maybe yeah.
I don't think so. But it's worth it for if you don't bring a big enough or yeah. But it's not like you cannot expect it to last forever.
Probably because of the zippers.
Yeah, the zippers.
The rest of it seemed pretty decently constructed, but probably the zippers. But like you said, it'll get through the trip, most likely. We have a ton of snacks, probably too many. Plenty.
I love chocolate.
Yeah, we've got Snickers bars and some locally made energy bars and all of this type of stuff. But just focusing on the gear, again, if you're having a guide and you're tea house trekking, you don't need a stove, you don't need a tent and all of these things. So you're really looking at the basics outside of that. And because, again, there's so many shops, it's hard to emphasize this. Literally every other shop is a trekking outdoor gear supply shop. The cool thing is they all carry a little bit of different things here and there. But plan to get most of your basics here because it's way cheaper and you'll save a lot of money and get your really hardcore technical stuff at home.
Like medication-wise, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
also get the most here. You go to a pharmacy, and at least the one we got to, it seems that he was pretty knowledgeable about people going trekking for medication, for diarrhea, altitude sickness, those kind of things. And of course it's can be a little sketchy because you're getting medication you don't really know what it is. So it's for, we brought some antibiotics from home actually, but we also got some here. But it's for emergency.
Yeah.
So I would say like bring the things you really need from home. We got like antibiotics from home and stomach stuff also from home. But we got some extra supply here.
Well, I
just
think
to
the
be
Cip,
sure.
yeah, the Cipro is the antibiotic that'll kill everything, and I would recommend to buy that here because you can buy it at a pharmacy and it's pretty inexpensive compared to home. I think it was $1.
Yeah, but you have
for
to think
a
about
dose, a full
it's
dose.
not necessarily that you get the real thing. So if you want to be sure, you should go through this with your doctor before you come, I would say.
Yeah, we're definitely not medical professionals,
No.
that's for sure. Although Anne Dorthe is pretty good at putting on a Band-Aid. The last thing we should mention outside of the pharmaceuticals, which we did take our guide to the pharmacy with us, and he helped us out because we were picking up some other things. That was helpful. But the sleeping bags.
Yep.
You do need a sleeping bag, and if you already are coming from home, you already have a sleeping bag that's rated -20. That's recommended. You can bring that if you don't want to sleep in some other sleeping bag or you don't want to buy one here, because those will be more expensive, the warmer sleeping bags. We rented sleeping bags for $1 a day, and we're going to be gone for 16 days, so it's a total of $32 for the both of us to have -20-degree sleeping bags. You'll hear some singing in the background. That's because there's a festival going on. The kids are walking around singing, and they get money when they sing. It's pretty cute. So sleeping bags, rent them, and then you can purchase a sleep sheet, the thing you sleep inside the bag, so you don't have to lay in a dirty bag. And they do say they air them out, but who knows. But you can buy a sleep sheet. I think I got one for $10.
Or you can bring that from home. I
Yeah,
did that,
if-
they're very small, and
Yeah.
they...
If you already-
100% silk
If you
liner.
already have one, bring it from home. If you don't, buy it here, I would say, because you'll spend a tenth of the price. because they can be pretty expensive too.
Yeah, but you don't know if it's like 100% silk.
Yeah.
It's different to another material.
Yeah.
So if you have that, I would recommend. It doesn't take up much more than your hand, kind of.
Yeah, that's true. It's small. One question that comes up is, what do you do with the stuff that you're not taking trekking? And this is always something I say gets figured out since we hired a guide. What they're going to do for us is take our extra stuff and send it to Pokhara, where we're going to end up at the end of the trip. And because this is a common thing, I mean, people go on these treks, they do this stuff. People always have extra stuff. So rather than having our porter carry all of our extra stuff, they're going to go and take it to the next town. Tomorrow morning we leave.
We do.
Are you excited?
Yeah, excited and a little scared, I guess.
Yeah.
Still. Not for tomorrow. Yeah, actually for tomorrow, for driving for 6 to 7 hours on these roads. It's actually a little scary too.
There are a lot of accidents. I'm sure we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Trekking Nepal, your adventure guide. Coming up in episode 3.
Scary.
I would say this is probably the most raw and rugged road I've traveled.
Mount Everest is actually made of marine limestone from this ancient ocean that once separated the continents. We're going to circumambulate Manaslu, the 8th highest mountain in the world. This audio adventure series has been brought to you by ZeroToTravel.com. Ideas and advice to help make any of your travel dreams a reality. Join our global community of travel lovers at ZeroToTravel.com. Hey, it's Jason here, and if you love trekking, I invite you to stop by ZeroToTravel.com/trekking to join our global community of hikers and discover the ultimate resource on trekking worldwide. You'll also learn about our upcoming authentic small group walking adventures. That's ZeroToTravel.com/trekking.